Hey, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. We're going to talk about how to stop leash pulling. And so we have a young male here, Baruch. Of course, he's a German Shepherd, a West German Showline German Shepherd. And he's good on the leash, but I can still teach you how to teach your dog to stop pulling on the leash. And essentially, we do that with the heel. So if you watch my channel at all and my how-tos with obedience commands, you'll know about the heel, the sit, the stay, the stand stay, the down, and the come. Those are the 6 basic obedience commands, right? So the heel, as the dog learns to walk close by your side, of course, it's learning not to tug on the leash. So what you're doing is teaching the dog that there's an end to the leash, and it does not want to, at 1 foot or at 2 or 3 or 4, it doesn't want to try to exceed that length of the leash. Could be 20 feet. You don't want the dog to pull whatever length leash that you have, right? So normally a 4 foot, a 5 foot, a 6 foot leash, right? So you do that again with the heel, and a real short leash, what we call a tab. We'll go through the routine with Baruch, even though, again, he is very good on the heel and he is not a leash puller, but the principles are the same. So I don't have to have a video with the dogs, dragging me down the avenue there, right? It can just be shown and explained, even with a dog such as Baruch. Baruch, come. Good boy. Come. Good boy. Good boy. There you'll see. Come. Heel, heel, heel. Good boy. Heel. Sit. Sit, Baruch. Sit. Sit, sit. It's a hot morning, so I'm not really going to get too crazy with him. Sit, Baruch. Sit. Sit. Yeah. So I have this tab. He can't pull too far, right? And so he'll learn from using the tab and keeping a tight leash, a tight heel, not to exceed wherever the end of that leash is. So watch how we go. Heel. Good. Good. Heel. Good. 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 Good boy. Sit. Sit. He's a gorgeous boy, isn't he? Anyway, you see the routine. He knows the routine, right? And so he knows the leash has an end, and he knows if he goes past that he's going to get a little snap on the leash, which is attached to the prong collar, critical critical tool to have when you're training the dog, whether it's for the leash or any of the, well, any of the on-leash training. The prong collar is the way to go. It's very humane. A prong collar pinches, they call it a pinch collar, and a choke chokes. So a prong collar is the more humane of the types of collars that there are, and effective. That's the thing, right? And so he understands there's an end to the leash, and it's not painful, but he just is reminded not to exceed what I'm making the end of the leash. And we're going to show that with a little routine with the regular leash. Baru, come. Good boy, come on, come. Good boy. So, watch as I give him a little more length and just a loose leash. Not going to keep him on a tight heel. Watch how he is. So you saw how that was. He's so used to a good heel. Not for me. I just did a little bit with him. He's with me for a month, you may know, and I'm working with him on some training there, trying to refine some things, the recall and the stay, which are high disciplines there for the dog, right? So just take some training. But anyway, the first thing is the heel to stop the leash pulling. If you don't have control over the dog, you've got nothing. And so you'll notice we opened up with a little playtime, right? I threw the little toy out there for him, and a little back and forth, some bonding, and just let him get a little bit of his energy out. And so just to recap on what we're doing here in the video as far as teaching the leash pulling, the tools. You want to use a prong collar, it's very humane, a short leash, a tab to start with, and that just really keeps him on a nice tight heel. Now, he doesn't have anywhere to pull, or if he tries to pull, it's going to be short-lived because he just doesn't have that, so you're not going to get that jerking. Now, granted, you got a wild leash puller, you put a dog on a leash and he's, pulling you down the road. I understand that is what we're trying to teach and avoid, right? We don't want the dog doing that, and I understand there are dogs that do that. Take your time, go through the routines, start slow in the house, in the living room, 5 to 10 feet. Keep a treat, leading the dog along as you teach it to heel, and constantly bringing it back to your leg, your heel, your side, and it will be okay. And not too long, the dog will get the idea that the leash has an end and it's not going to want to jerk on it. Not so much, they don't do it because of rebellion or whatever. They're doing it primarily because of excitement. That's a big reason that they leash pull. I would say that's probably the reason. If it's an aggressive leash pull, get away, not usually. the aggression usually comes at you. The playful and the distraction and the excitable dog is going to go away. So just keep that in mind, and that's essentially what you have in the dog's thinking as far as leash pulling. It's excited, it wants to go, or it sees something it wants to get to. So you have to change that and get the dog's focus on you, on following you, on knowing, hey, there's that tight leash again. Hey, there's that tight leash again. Through the ritual of just again and again, the rote back and forth. You see, I took him actually not enough times each time. You should excuse me, do at least 10 times back and forth, 15, 20, 25 feet, just a straight back and forth. Do change the inside outside turning, right? But the dog will get it really quick again. So I'm sure you'll have success. Start with the tab, with the prong collar, have some treats on hand. But if you have a dog that is just so excited, just wants to run, just wants to get away and get out some energy, well, you get its attention with the treat, and again, the prong collar, a little snap on the leash, and like I said, before long, you'll have success with your dog. It's just a matter of you taking the time. We always say you have to train the trainer, and that's what we're doing in these videos. So I hope they're useful. I hope this video is useful to you. There's a lot of videos out there, how to stop leash pulling, and I'm throwing in my 2 cents. The Lord bless you as you trust Him. Do look for the Bible verse at the end of the video. Subscribe, like, share, comment, question, all that stuff. That's not a command, that's a request. Thank you. Have a great day.